Guys, why aren't the brakes working?
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
What? Holy shit!
Oh, God!
Oh my God! Christ, guys, I can't stop this fast! Aboard! Aboard!
Comedy has always been my favorite genre. I've always been attracted to the shows that made me laugh. I've always enjoyed the gags, the jokes, the characters, and the writing of comedic shows that were designed for a single purpose: to make you laugh. Look at this Emmy nominee list for Best Comedy from 2010. Now look at 2023. Notice the difference. The first list is dominated by shows focused on making you laugh. The second is filled with shows where humor is secondary to drama, emotion, or mystery. This shift represents a fundamental change in what we call comedy, and today we are going to talk about it. What are the forces that transformed comedy from laugh-focused entertainment into something more respectable but dramatically less funny? It's like comedy shows have forgotten their primary purpose: to make us laugh. Now, because I'm a 90s baby, I'm going to start from shows that I realistically would have watched. Think about the classics. Shows like Friends always set up jokes and punchlines for almost the entire runtime of that episode. Seinfeld did the same thing with detailed jokes that built throughout episodes. Even The Office, with its mockumentary style, delivered consistent laughs through character-based humor and awkward situations. These shows were joke machines designed to create maximum laughs. Now look at modern Emmy winners. Take Barry, for example, an incredible show with phenomenal performances, but is it actually funny? It's a dark drama about a hitman with occasional funny moments. Or The Bear, which has been sweeping the comedy categories despite being a tense kitchen drama that causes more anxiety than laughs. These shows aren't bad, they are brilliant, but calling them comedies feels like false advertising. There's also been this rise of what critics call nice score comedy, shows that prioritize warmth and emotional moments and life lessons over actual jokes. Ted Lasso is the perfect example. Season 1 had dynamic characters and funny moments, but by season 3, it transformed into a feel-good drama with footballs, all emotional speeches and character growth with jokes as an afterthought. The industry is now rewarding emotional manipulation over the art of crafting humor because it's an art. The ability to create consistent, clever jokes is incredibly difficult, but writing feel-good moments is practically formulaic at this point. The irony is that the most critically acclaimed comedies today are the ones that make you cry, not laugh. What's most frustrating is how intentional this feels. Modern comedies aren't actually designed to create laughs. They are carefully engineered to win awards and critical acclaim by blending genres and focusing on prestige elements. Modern comedies today are the equivalent of Oscar bait. Jokes have been sacrificed on the altar of sophisticated storytelling. Behind this sophisticated storytelling mask lies something called fear. When a single joke can destroy a writer's career or cause full outrage, comedy transforms from an art of risk-taking into a practice in avoiding landmines. Comedy is a very risk-seeking sport, so to speak. Without that risk, comedy becomes watered down and risks doing its job, making people laugh. Now, am I saying safe jokes can't be funny? No, but comedy is much more, and writers should not be chastised for crafting jokes that are funny. The comedic landscape hasn't just evolved, it's been completely paralyzed by an atmosphere of caution. It's almost like there is a war on jokes. Dave Chappelle said in one of his specials, "I'm not here to be right, I came to fuck around." Comedy is not about who is right or wrong, it's about laughing. You don't have to find everything funny, and yes, some jokes will offend you, but that doesn't mean the world has to bend the rules of comedy to appease people. The standards have shifted dramatically, creating an environment where comedians are constantly second-guessing their material. This climate has made drama a significantly safer bet than comedy. It's easier to just dive into another genre, add a bunch of jokes in the background, and call it comedy. When you're trying to make people feel something, a missed emotional beat is barely noticeable. But when a joke falls flat, everyone notices.
The big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL, on the Golden Globes,
We have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
Oh,
I swear.
brother, this guy stinks!
That awkward silence is deafening. This helps explain why so many comedies have drifted towards dramatic storytelling. It's simply a safer bet. It's safer territory for writers and executives alike. Why take a chance on boundary-pushing comedy when you can approve another safe, inoffensive dramedy instead? The irony is painfully obvious. Comedy at its core requires risk. It needs to surprise us, challenge us, and occasionally make us uncomfortable. When you remove all risk from comedy, you are left with something that resembles comedy but lacks its essential spark. Like decaffeinated coffee or vegan meat, it looks the same but lacks the flavor that made you want it in the first place. But just when it seemed like genuine TV comedy was extinct, a small resistance movement has been brewing on network television. Shows like Abbott Elementary have quietly been leading a comedy revolution with a surprisingly traditional approach. These shows aren't just making audiences laugh, they are proving that you don't need to sacrifice humor for relevance. Abbott Elementary stands as perhaps the clearest example of traditional comedy's resilience. The show has become a standard bearer for sitcom humor, earning praise not just for its social commentary but for something much more fundamental. It's consistently funny. Watching Abbott Elementary, I noticed that everything on that show is designed to make the viewer laugh. Humor never takes a back seat to the story or the characters. Abbott Elementary is committed to the basics, relatable characters, and well-crafted jokes that land with precision. The show's creators have made a deliberate choice to prioritize laughter over industry accolades, focusing on humor that connects with viewers rather than impressing critics. This approach has ironically earned them both audience love and award recognition, making Abbott Elementary one of the few genuine half-hour comedies still competing for major awards. Another show is CBS's Ghosts, with its unique supernatural premise that never loses sight of its primary mission, making viewers laugh. The show carefully balances its fantasy elements with character-driven humor, creating moments that resonate with audiences beyond the laughs. What's very interesting about Ghosts is that it's found success with a broad audience, despite its commitment to traditional comedy structures. It commits to the format of maximizing laughs and delivers a show with consistent high ratings. Another show is What We Do in the Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows offers a different but equally effective approach to preserving comedy traditions. What makes this show work is how it balances absurdist elements with humor that feels relatable despite its crazy premise. The show has become one of the few modern comedies that generates consistent laughter without abandoning narrative complexity. Other shows commit to the traditional format that prioritize laughter over all, but sadly, they've concluded. These shows have found ways to incorporate contemporary themes and diverse perspectives while never forgetting that their primary purpose is generating laughter. They don't mistake dramatic moments for comedy. They don't rely on unconventional concepts to replace jokes. Instead, they understand that building characters worth caring about makes the humor land more effectively, not replace it entirely. The success of these shows offers a blueprint for the traditional comedy's revival. They demonstrate that audiences still want shows that can offer them genuine laughter. They've just been starved of shows willing to prioritize it. By combining traditional joke structures with fresh perspectives and modern sensibilities, these shows have proven that humor doesn't need to be sacrificed at the altar of relevance or critical acclaim. The truth is, audiences still want to laugh. And to be fair, there are still some shows that want to make audiences laugh. There is a reason people still watch The Office and Friends years after they've concluded. And it's not just because of nostalgia. This is evidence that viewers still want comedies that prioritize humor above all else. There is an untapped opportunity for creators willing to swim against the current industry tide. The pendulum of entertainment always swings back, and after this extended period where dramedies have dominated critical acclaim, we are likely going to approach a period where the traditional comedy makes a revival. The comedy shows that break through in the coming years won't be those chasing awards or critical validation. They'll be the ones that trust that audiences still appreciate joke craftsmanship and they aren't afraid to take risks to deliver it. The future of comedy shows isn't in abandoning humor for prestige, it's in rediscovering the art of what created the greatest comedies of all time, and that is the art of making people laugh. Thanks for watching. What is your favorite comedy show? Do you think today's comedies are actually funny? Let me know in the comment section and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.